This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
Recording has started.
Hello and welcome to Superconnectivity. I'm your host, Charlie, the Professor Esser. And with me, as always, is the one man who can make this seem professional.
Oh, yeah, right. Phil and Perich.
Hey, Philip. How you doing, my friend?
All right.
Always glad to have you. So happy to be here with you now. And let's talk about what we... hey, there's a notification. Did you know that... Capes and Lunatics is live right now on YouTube?
No.
Yeah, so there you go. So quick, get over to YouTube right now and watch us. Or that would be odd. Yeah, Tristan was actually saying he was watching us live the other day and he commented on our video while we were talking, but we didn't see his comment and he felt sad he was not heard. Oh, poor Toxin Gamer 13. Anyway, Philip. Last week, we wanted to talk about Logan, or Wolverine, The Long Night.
Yes, the podcast. They did it first on Stitcher Premium, and now I guess they're putting it out for free.
Yeah, well,
with ads.
Exactly. They're trying to work out the business model on it, and I you can't really blame the guys for trying.
I just wonder if the numbers weren't there for the premium.
Oh, I don't even know if that's the case. I actually think that they probably did okay on the numbers. I think Stitcher Premium is a rough go to start.
Yeah,
because it's hard to get people to pay for stuff they're already getting for free. But I think that maybe they felt they had made their money back on it, and they wanted to build up the hype. Because, and not for nothing, I think all of the premium shows have a free content variation, where they say, "Hey, because I Stitcher is the app I use for my podcasts," and pretty much all of them say, "And hey, if you want to hear this with this or hear this extra content, go sign up for Stitcher Premium. And we'll give you fancy content." And it's neat. But I gotta say, and this is what my big takeaway from the whole Wolverine The Long Night issue is, I feel that this was not the right material for a podcast like this. Now, here's the thing. So maybe it's that I don't use podcasts the way.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say, maybe I just don't use podcasts the way that the kids today, like Little Hellfire, use podcasts. Maybe, So for me, podcasts are what I listen to when I'm on the phone, or not when I'm on the train.
Mm-hmm.
I know you listen to podcasts when you're driving.
Yeah.
And I listen to podcasts when I do my workout, things like that. One of the things about it is that they're all things that are kind of distraction based, if you will.
Like people, like people like us talking about stuff they're interested in, or.
Well, yeah, it's stuff that's on in the background.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I keep on thinking as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about radio plays, because that's essentially what this is trying to be: is a classic noirish radio play. Featuring Logan, the Wolverine, wet stuff. And what I feel is, aside from the fact that we're 4 episodes in and it is kind of slow going.
Yeah, you really don't get much of Wolverine yet, spoilers.
Well, I'm okay with that, but even our SHIELD agents aren't that shieldy. We got one thing about his fancy cell phone in episode, I think that was episode 2. All the chemical analysis Stark tech that they got. And that's interesting, but it's basically, I think that they're underestimating the need for a two-fisted tail. And I get what they're probably trying to do. They're probably trying to look at, what have been some hit podcasts out there, things like Serial, things that are trying to tell a story but those are much more documentary styles. And this is meant to be a narrative,
I don't know. I just think like you were saying, I don't know if this was the material to start off with, but I don't know if people were just like, hey, people know Wolverine, and they're trying to do like a slow burn to try to get people in who maybe aren't too familiar with like Marvel. I don't know.
But the thing is that you can do a Wolverine podcast. Yeah. I just don't think this was a good choice for it. So, and what I go back to is The Shadow. Now, The Shadow, of course, was, aside from being the first superhero, suck it, Superman and Batman, The Shadow is so much more a superhero than either of you ever were long before you guys ever became superheroes. He's got a secret identity. He's got a costume. He's got superpowers. He has everything except a cape, So, but The Shadow was a hit radio show in years. One of the most profitable superhero franchises of that early year. And it was talky. It did have its drama that was set up with people in a room discussing things. But they did get into fights, and of course, but his superpower was literally the fact that you couldn't see him. So he's like a great radio superhero. Mm-hmm. And I kind of feel like they should have done. I think they should have gotten the rights to The Shadow and remade The Shadow. I think that would have really gotten the interest of people out there in the broadcast world. I mean, you could even get the guy who does the voice of the Brain. And do The Shadow because that's his Orson Welles voice, and Orson Welles was the original Shadow.
Yeah,
and
but
it is so perfect, and yet they did not do that.
Yeah, but this was like a Marvel production, wasn't it? Marvel doesn't have rights to The Shadow, right?
No. Well, no, this was a Stitcher production.
Oh, okay.
And they got the rights from Marvel. I mean, that's how I understand it. I don't think that Marvel went out and said, "Hey, we want to get into the world of dramatic podcastery." I mean.
No.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, and I think that this was Stitcher trying to find premium content people would pay for, and they looked over at Netflix and they said, "Look at that, superheroes! People love those. And people pay through the nose for those."
I looked it up. It said Wolverine: The Long Night is a scripted podcast serial featuring the Marvel Comics character Wolverine. This is Marvel's first scripted podcast produced by Marvel New Media and Stitcher.
Yeah, well, and Stitcher.
Yeah.
It's I mean, Marvel produces it because Marvel produces all their stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a question of who came to who first.
Yeah.
Was Marvel looking to start a podcast and reached out to Stitcher, or was Stitcher looking for this content, which is what I think it was. I think Stitcher was looking for content. And basically what probably happened was that they sent out a general thing out there to people saying, we're looking for great ideas for content. Then Marvel probably came to them with, here's a content you could use. But what strikes me about it. Yeah.
So I just wonder if they came for Wolverine specifically, or if Marvel gave them a list of characters they could use. Because since it's like an audio format, I mean, I don't know if I would go with Wolverine as like a chatty character. I mean, I'm surprised they wouldn't go with even like a Deadpool or like a Squirrel Girl or something first.
Yeah, well, Squirrel Girl might be a little bit too. I mean, actually, I think Squirrel Girl would have been great. I actually think they should have done the Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
that is a great two-fisted tale. I think they could have done, Captain Marvel. I mean, there's a lot of characters that would have been better than Wolverine, and I think that is one of the. But I get that they wanted to do something noir-y.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I just don't think this was the one. You know what they should have done is they should have done Spider-Man Noir. As a podcast.
Oh yeah.
That would have been great, It's got all the elements you're looking for. I mean, and it's not like Marvel won't create a character for you if you ask them nicely for them to create a character so that you can produce content.
Or again, do any version of Spider-Man, a much more chatty character than Wolverine,
Yeah, and like I said,
even if it's Peter Parker, Miles Morales, I mean, it's still going to be more chatty than Wolverine.
I mean, I will say this: I liked this second episode the best of the 4.
Yeah, I think the story's good. I just like it's barely a Wolverine story yet, though.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't think we're getting enough action.
No.
You just because it's an audio drama, you can't be afraid of action.
I haven't
You got to
listened.
have that fuck.
I haven't listened to episode 4 yet, but it seems like a lot of build up. It's like, okay, here's more suspects. Here's the cult. Here's this one.
Yeah.
Here's that one.
Yeah, you were supposed to watch it. Yeah,
I know. I will.
Yeah, it's okay. Episode 4. I mean, and again, this was the thing. I'm trying to get to work the other day, and I've got it running in my headphones. And it's, and the whole thing is that when you're trying to do other things, first off, it can be hard to keep track of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, maybe I'm just like the wrong audience for this. I'm used to background noise, not,
Well,
sit down and listening to podcasts. That's not the kind of guy I am. But maybe that is the market. Maybe there is a market for that, and that's what they're going for.
Well, they're trying to be all immersive too, because like they keep touting like this sound technology or whatever it is, where it's like, oh yeah, like if you're supposed to hear footsteps, you'll hear like this coming from like sound. It'll sound like you're coming from like below you, or if something's over here, you'll hear it, overall at the sides. Yeah. I don't know, and I mean, it sounds great, but I don't know if it's more distracting than helpful.
Oh well, I mean, 3-dimensional sound. It's an old gimmick.
But supposedly they have some kind of new technology or something for it. I don't know.
Yeah, there's always some kind of new technology. But I think what can really be said about it is that so far 4 episodes in, here's what I'll say: if I wasn't a superhero pop cultural podcaster, I probably wouldn't be talking about this right now.
Yeah.
And I think it's really telling that this thing has been out for a while.
When I looked it up,
this is the first time we're talking. I've been wanting to. I said, "Oh yeah, we should."
Yeah, I don't. Well, I guess it must have hit Stitcher Premium in March, and then I don't know how long it took for them to put it out free. But yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. Well, what? Yeah. Well, exactly. And the thing is ever since it was first announced, I wanted to talk about it. We have never talked about it because, for whatever reason, it just hasn't been stuff that came up. We hadn't thought, oh, hey, let's talk about Wolverine, or we say, hey, let's talk about Wolverine, but then we never actually do.
Well, I mean,
that's
it's
Wolverine for you.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I just think that Stitcher could have picked a different character.
Yeah.
It's no Iron Fist. It's not like the Iron Fist of superhero podcasts.
Yeah. Oh, but
they should have followed like the Netflix model.
Mm-hmm.
Just out of curiosity, am I breaking up to you, or are you just breaking up to me?
You're breaking.
They should have followed like the Netflix model and actually built a superheroic universe, and like so it's not just Wolverine. We're gonna have Professor X. We're gonna have Sasquatch.
Mm-hmm.
On this, man.
Yeah, they need that moment. It's like, oh, it's pure
I
Wolverine.
can't hear you at all, Phil. I don't know if it's my headphones or you.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Okay. It's just it is what it is. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, I can hear you now. It's like keeps on coming and going. I don't know why.
Okay. Well,
am I dropping out to you? That's the question I always ask.
It's been kind of garbled a little bit, and I don't know if there's a slight delay, but
let me turn off the video. Maybe that'll help. They say it helps if you turn off the video. Anyway, so moving on from there, let's talk comic books.
Okay. You want to do? You want to do
yes.
Spider-Geddon?
Let's talk Spider-Geddon.
Number 0. Yes.
And I'm wondering if this takes place post the Superior Octopus book we're getting. Because we do get the Superior Octopus because that gets hyped at the end of this book. And then the idea that, I get the feeling that this future again, an Otto that's unmoored from time. And again, he's the one who's building the Spider team, He's the one trying to make the Spider-Man great again, as they say. And of course, I love my Otto. Otto was here because this was the superior Spider-Man. This was, he's talking like a villain, but then he's like, no, I mean, okay, if you insist we go do this, then let's go do this, and then we'll go save the universe,
Yeah.
It was very cool that I also like that they kind of went back to Otto's old origin in the PS4 universe, which is that, Otto was actually this really nice guy until a horrible accident twisted him body and soul.
Yes.
Which is always cool.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, what really made me sad? The saddest thing in this is when Otto was talking to Peter about MJ. About how MJ is this person across many universes where they give each other strength and yada, yada, yada. And, Peter asks Otto if he has anyone like that. And Otto says no. And I'm like, oh, Ms. Marconi isn't in Otto's life. I know Otto's kind of creepy. And they got this thing. But I don't know. I think that, yes, he was a villain. Yes, he came to being Spider-Man in a very unfortunate way. And yes, he did very horrible things. But, I think Otto's the kind of guy that can own up to it. Mm-hmm. This is a thing I was saying recently. When you say that something's a youthful indiscretion, it's important that, as you're saying it is a youthful indiscretion, that you show the maturity of an adult and both acknowledge that indiscretion, acknowledge why it was bad, and why you are repulsed by these actions that were yours, as opposed to trying to obfuscate or hide the fact that this is something you did. You have to own up to it. You have to say, I was wrong in being a child. That otherwise, if you try to just dismiss it as saying, well, I was young, you're saying, and I still have that emotional mindset of a young person who does not acknowledge that the thing I did was horrible or bad or wrong. And so I get the feeling in this that Otto is in that place, emotionally speaking. I don't know what happens to get him there, but I get the feeling that this Otto definitely is in that spot where he is going to be a hero. And he's going to be a hero because he knows it's just the right thing to do, and it's the way you be. And you put this childish supervillainy behind you. And that's what makes me happy about this. And then of course, we have... what did you think of the first act?
I thought it was interesting. Yeah, I don't know if this comes after Superior Octopus because, Otto seemed a little more laid back and not so, cramming it down everyone's throats that I am the superior one. He seemed kind of almost wanting to be mentor to this Spider-Man almost.
Yeah, well, he is trying to be... He knows that in order to be a superior Spider-Man, it's not all the, it's not the tech that makes you the superior Spider-Man. It's showing that you understand what needs to be done. And so I really liked that. I really liked the way that they approached all this. Like I said, on every conceivable level, this was just a really good take on Superior Otto, and I'm looking forward to the Superior Octopus. I'm going to have to put that on pull next time I go into the comics shop. I think it's going to be a good arc, and I do think it's going to be basically give us the prequel to what's going to be going on in Spider-Geddon. So we're going to get this setup kind of thing, Because I think by the end of Superior Octopus, he realizes he has to be this
Yeah, I think Superior. I think Superior Octopus is supposed to be. I thought it was supposed to be a series. Now I think it's supposed to be like a one shot, and then we're getting, I think, more Superior Spider-Man. I don't know if it's a limited or an ongoing. I'm trying to remember if it's a limited or ongoing. I thought they said ongoing. So.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean that's fine. I can deal. He can be Superior Octopus. He can be Superior Spider-Man. I just like the redemption arc of Otto. And we can all agree that Hobie is the worst Spider-Man.
Yeah.
We're going through the Spider-Verse gang as they're sending the robots to watch the what do they call them? Progenitors. Anyway, I gotta say, how is what they're doing more or less cruel than killing these people? They're literally starving them to death. And they say, well, at least we're not killing them. You know, it is to me, that was like the worst part of the entire story.
Is it them saying it's less cruel, or is it, this is the only way we know how to stop them because we can't think of any other way to stop them? Because if we go near them, they're going to feed off of us?
Well, I mean, they want to. Basically, my point is, it doesn't matter. It's like this: letting them live. There is this implication that they might sometime let them leave, or that they will escape.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, we see them wasting away to nothing. I mean, these guys look like famine survivors, except they're not surviving. They're falling over themselves and they're dying.
Yeah.
And we do see that as episode to episode, they're wasting away, and that is problematic to me on a lot of levels. It just seemed unduly cruel.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they say, well, we can't kill. They need to figure out a different way then. I mean, these are living beings, and yes, they're vampires, but someone should be trying to figure out a way to keep the vampires. If you want to keep the vampires alive, then you have to give them a way to feed. If you want the vampires dead, then you just have to kill them. And this whole middle road thing, it's not working.
Yeah.
So that was, as much as I enjoyed that. I mean, it's fun and it's funny in the way they played out. And of course, you see, they keep on sending us pan-dimensional tech for reasons. And so now we're going to build our own escape hatch. Which is obvious. But yeah, I was not on all that. That just seemed a little. That's our setup for our Spider-Geddon. Any thoughts on that, Phil?
No. I wonder where we're gonna go with Spider-Geddon. As like a sequel to Spider-Verse.
Yeah. It is what it is. What it is again. So, Philip, do you want to keep on talking comics? Or do you want to save the rest for Capes and Lunatic with the fair Lilith Hellfire?
Yeah, I was gonna say let's cut it here and get Lilith in here. Well, for us, Capes and Lunatics, episode 72.
That sounds great. Okay. For sign-offs here. Okay, so hey. I forget what time of day it is sometimes. Hey, folks. Do you like capes and do you like things that are super connected? Do you like TV? If so, write to me. An old-fashioned email with superconnectivity.com. That's superconnectivity.gmail.com. And of course, the live tweet Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Gotham and all the shows at CHARLIESSCR, with the two E's in the middle for quality.
Bing!
That's the one. And Phil, how can people find you?
If you want to get a hold of me, especially for interviews, email me nightwingpdp@gmail.com, and on Twitter I am @nightwingpdp.
And that is how you get us, folks. So come get us. Come and get it. And thank you for connecting with us, coming getting it, and connecting with us here on Superconnectivity. Please super connect with us again next week. Good night.
You know.
And now the music goes.
And remember to follow Charlie Esser on Instagram, Superconnectivity.
Oh, I'm on Instagram. Oh, yeah, that's right. I am on Instagram now. I forgot I signed up for that yesterday.
That's
Yay!
right. Follow the Esser on the gram.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Because I was trying to figure out a way to connect with Daphne Rosen to talk pornography and comic books.